Hello students, let us continue to learn about the lesson Forests Our Lifeline. So in the previous class, we had visited the forest, we had seen how pleasant it was to be in a forest, how the animals had got excited on seeing the students visiting it, some of the animals, the trees, then we saw the uses of the forest, then we saw the crown, how the branches have crown. Then we saw the three layers of the forest and not forgetting the forest floor. Today we shall continue learning about forest. So now in forests mainly we have trees and trees are called as autotrophs. The meaning of autotrophs is that they are able to prepare their own. So autotrophs are organisms which are able to prepare their own food. Then we have the heterotrophs. In heterotrophs, they depend on others for food, like us. We depend on the autotrophs for food. And then we have the saprotrophs. So saprotrophs are organisms which depend on the decaying matter, dead and decaying matter, like the fungi. Now, we know that all the animals, whether herbivores or carnivores, now herbivores are animals which only eat plants. Carnivores are organisms which eat animals. Okay, so they depend ultimately on plants for food. So organisms which feed on plants often get eaten by the other organisms and so on. Understood? Now, in case we are given an example of a food chain, basically we have grass which is eaten by insects, and insect will be eaten by frog, and frog will be consumed by a snake, and the snake will be consumed by the eagle. So this is the food chain which is given. Simple food chain. So now in the forest there will be a lot of food chains. So there will be food chains which are linked to one another. Now in case I remove one of them, like in case I remove grass, what will happen? The entire chain will get disturbed. So, therefore, it is said we should not disturb the harmony of the forest because everyone are linked to each other. As they were walking in the forest, they saw on the floor that there was some mushrooms and there were some insects and millipedes and ants and beetles. So then they were wondering, how do these microorganisms survive? Then Professor Ahmed told them that these type organisms they feed upon the dead plants and animals and they convert them into a substance which is called as humus. Okay. Then the microorganisms which convert the dead plants and animals to humus are called as decomposers. So these microorganisms whichever were there, we call them as decomposers. Now, what is the importance of this humus? The presence of humus ensures that the nutrients of the dead plants and animals are released in the soil. It is like it is providing nutrition to the soil, just like case of manure. Okay, so the nutrients are absorbed by the roots of the plant. Okay, now in case even if an animal dies in the forest, what will happen is the insects will feed upon them, and like that the cycle will keep on going, and therefore what we can say that we can make a statement that nothing goes waste in a forest. Then professor also said that forests are called as green lungs. So everybody was wondering what is the meaning of green lungs. We know that plants will provide us with oxygen. Okay, and oxygen how will they produce? They will produce it through photosynthesis. Okay, and oxygen is required for respiration. Okay, for humans and even plants. So they also maintain the balance of the oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So in the atmosphere, we need to maintain the balance between them. So it is because of the forest that we are able to do that. So that's why they are called as lungs. So this is what we learned in today's class. Tomorrow's class, we shall learn more about it. Thank you, students.